Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome to another addition to the Wintersome project, which is Winter's Elementary, hosted by Good Entertainment and yours truly. Today we're going to have a look at a game that I don't think a lot of you will have ever really seen me play on this channel before, but it's a little bit more complicated than just, oh well, I haven't done it on this channel before. Which is Minecraft, and I'm playing this on Enya, my Mac, just so that you know. And hopefully this turns out okay, because it's my first time really trying recording the game on here. So let's just get started here. We're going to do single player, and I have a world here called Creation, which even though it's 2017 right now, this world is actually extremely old, I suppose, by modern standards, because it's years old. I've had this since I was on Lavos, my old Windows laptop, and then I migrated it over when I got Enya. So it's a creative world because that's really the only mode I play. As you can see, I haven't played survival mode since 2012 because it's just not really that. Cream Pie Lord Seymour, of course. So let's just get going with Creation. It's a world I'm quite attached to, and yeah, I just want to show you what it's all about. We're starting off up here in a structure that I have built. So basically the whole attachment for me with Minecraft, or the whole appeal to me, is just the freedom to build whatever you want and create whatever you want. And basically this world Creation was just a blank canvas where I could build whatever my imagination allowed. So we're in here in a structure called the Sun Tower, which is basically a huge tower with a glass dome on top and with glass window, like kind of a cathedral sort of structure, I suppose. And really all I wanted to do with this world was just create a world with buildings and structures and things like that, inspired by just, as my whole life I've been inspired by the worlds and big open worlds of video games. So I said that's where we'd start out here, is up at the Sun Tower. And as I say, this structure has been here for years. Like, it's really funny to think about that, but this building has been there for years at this stage, with the little light up pools out in the back and stuff. But yeah, as I said, I haven't really ever shown off this world on this channel before. I did try to one time, but the recording crapped out, and all I had left was the audio of me describing everything I had created, which was a real shame, because I would have loved to show it off back then. But here we are now, and maybe this will prove to be the first of many videos where we do a bit of creative stuff in here every now and then. We're here in basically what do I call it? Let's have a look outside. I'm pretty sure I put a sign up here. No, I didn't. Basically, we're in here in a big train station that I've made, and this is like a 2-level train station. If we look here, there's a sign that says to Station Beta, which basically goes out there and around and down here, and there are more platforms down underneath us. So it's basically a huge architecturally designed train station. Not all of the platforms have a destination yet, because I haven't built something that they go to yet, but there's scope there to build more things. What kind of things are there, might you ask, that I have built in this world? Well, we're going to have a look at one of them today. Is it going to be Soda Lake? No. Is it going to be the Sun Tower? Well, we've seen that already. Is it going to be the Crystal Dome? No. Today, in the spirit of Winter's Elementary, we are going to Snowforest Chalet. And what is that? Well, you're just going to have to wait and find out. We've got quite a journey ahead of us, so we might as well get started. But yeah, basically I suppose my dream was just to have like these big cool structures and nice little houses and buildings and things like that I had built, and have them all linked together by this huge rail system, which is basically what I've gone ahead and done. And Snowforest Chalet is one of the places that we're going to be heading to, because I think what is more apt for Winter's Elementary than going visiting somewhere called Snowforest Chalet. I say that So I was talking about like how Minecraft hasn't really appeared on this channel, even though I do play. Well, I have played creative quite a lot. I kind of go through phases of playing hours upon hours of creative and then not playing it for another while. So, but actually, there was like the start of a Minecraft series on this channel many years ago, called Minecraft Téna which was actually like a Minecraft survival mode, but I was playing it in Irish. Like I was, the commentary was all in the Irish language, but it proved to be so unrecordable on my laptop, and as well the amount of work that I had to put in putting the subtitles in and stuff like that, it just wasn't worth it in the end. So like I think the 2 or 3 videos that I put up of that, I ended up deleting. So that's why you might have seen Minecraft on this channel at a very specific time, but it wasn't like for very long. So we're after arriving here, obviously in the snowy climes of this little snow forest biome, and we have arrived at what I have dubbed the Snowforest Chalet. And this building, it's just like basically a homely little house in the woods. If we just enter in here, this started with my idea that, well, I wanted to build what would be a functioning fireplace that wouldn't set places on fire, which that's usually the issue with if you build a fireplace. There's like an exact science of how far away the blocks are allowed to be away from the fire, with what in between and stuff like that, to avoid them getting on fire, especially like above the fire. That's like the crux of the whole thing. And I, at many stages during the building of this little house, like the place did catch on fire because I'd done it wrong or something like that. And I don't think like back then, maybe they changed the mechanics or something, because it definitely wasn't as lenient as it is now as far as the mechanics are concerned. So then, like back then as well, so corner stairs and stuff like that didn't exist, like this structure up here. So this has gone through another couple of updates to make it seem nicer and to make it more designery, I suppose. But basically, it's just a nice little, what I imagine, you know, those like little holiday escape cabins that you have, where maybe you kind of like rent them out to be away from the world or whatever. That's kind of what I had in mind. So up here, it's just a very peaceful sort of private area with a bed. Nice decorations, some nice books. I love this here, this kind of reading area that you kind of have. And I just love the idea, like for me, when I imagine this being a real structure, I can totally imagine just kind of sitting down here and kind of having something to drink or something to eat, or even being with friends and people sitting around here. And I don't know, it's just a very, very tangible, real sort of thing, like here with this little seat here as well, and you have like the fireplace. Like it's a very tangible sort of a real thing. I think that's like the most amazing thing about Minecraft as a game, especially the creative mode, is that you are able to make it seem so real, or it is something that you do get an attachment to, because you sink so much time and effort and creativity into creating these things, that you feel such a sense of accomplishment once you have created them, you know. But yeah, that's like the Snowforest Chalet here. There is like another building that I did construct, which isn't as interesting, I suppose. If we just follow this path down here, then we'll see it as well. This was like my attempt to make like a log cabin out here, because then you were able to, they made it so that you were actually able to decide which direction things went in, I suppose, at one point, and you were able to build with these logs or whatever. So I decided to try and turn this building into a log cabin, and there's like another platform out here. So I suppose what this could be seen as, like this log cabin here, it's not really that interesting. And here, this is like an earlier attempt at a fireplace. I think that's where it came from, was because this was my earlier attempt at a fireplace. This like tree fire block fireplace or whatever. And I remember as well, like this gave me a tough time. Like that's why the fireplace is so enormous, is because it gave me such a tough time with having to avoid the place going on fire. You can see as well, this is like obviously from an earlier incantation of the game, because you don't have like the same options when it comes to like obviously the same options aren't there when it comes to like, what was I going to say? When it comes to like to stairs and things like that. Like obviously I built this at a time when you couldn't like make these like what I want to say is when, oh god, I don't even know the controls to this anymore. Like obviously when you couldn't make these kind of like when you couldn't make these kind of like cornery stairs and things like that, like by or when you could like put them up like that and stuff. So which is kind of interesting to go back and see, because like they have like updated this game so many times that it's quite easy to like lose track of what exactly has actually been here and what hasn't been here. I'm just trying to think though, if like this is a train station. I suppose it makes sense for it to be like an indoor building, because if you're waiting for a train out here in the taiga, you're going to have somewhere to like stay warm while you're waiting for like the train to arrive. So I suppose what we could do, we could have like a ticket office over here, I suppose. And that's like the thing with like the stairs. Like what you can do is nowadays you can have them like this, so that they're actually like so it actually almost looks like a little counter here, which I suppose that'd be like really cool. You have like the ticket office here. Can't you have like, aren't there gates in this game? Oak fence gate. I'm not sure what that'll look like here now. Oh no, that actually looks pretty good. Then you come in here and like you're working behind the counter here with the ticket. I suppose you'd need to have like your books and things like that. Books. Showing you like what all of the, like they're just like your basic like office books and things like that, because you have to have office books, obviously. But yeah, this is kind of how it starts with me. I start imagining, okay, if this were like a real world, what would it be like? I don't like them going up that high. What would it be like? And well, that's what it is. It's like, oh well, this is a train station, a small little train station out in the middle of nowhere, out inside in the frozen wilderness. And if you have like a small train station out in the middle of nowhere in the frozen wilderness, well, you kind of have to have like, somewhere for people like to sit and stay warm, which is what this is, I suppose, back here. And I think this is always what has like drawn me to see. Look, now you can have like these like corner stairs that you couldn't before, so that's like another nice little seating area. It's a bit dark though. That's like the only thing, is that it's like kind of like dark. But you know, like you always have those like seats in bus stations and train stations or whatever that are just tucked away for as many people to sit as possible. I suppose here this is like the ticket counter where you buy your ticket, even though it's like my oh, do you know what they have actually in the newest update I saw? There are actually like new doors. So what I could actually do is go ahead and, yeah, like that actually works. There are like new doors, but I'm gonna have to like destroy this because I need to. And like obviously I made this as well before like before you had like the same options as far as like wood is concerned and colors of wood and things like that. That's why it can look like a little bit unpretty, like especially this here. Like this is like the most unpretty looking building. Like I'm wondering like what it's like here if I could like put lights in or something like that to make it like nice and bright on the inside. But I mean like the redstone lamps. And then like make the roof like a little bit nicer. But you see, this is what happens. Like when I start playing creative, I get like sucked into it, like, and I can't stop. Like, you know, it's really, really quite ridiculous. So redstone has like its own section as well, doesn't it? Like, look, you have all of these doors now that you didn't have before. And I think like the redstone lamps, they give off such a nice like warm light. It's so much nicer. And now what they have as well, which they didn't have like when I started like building this world, is like these redstone blocks or whatever. Like they just didn't have them, which they're like really good now for like hiding, because before what you used to have was torches and they just didn't look that good. And you can still see in like some parts of like my house that like there's like torches and stuff like that, or not my house, in like the not the house, but in like the like on the railways and things like that. Like you can still see like where elements of like it being made before the those changes were actually in place. See, this looks like a lot more homely now all of a sudden with these lights in the ceiling. I actually really quite like it, and it's like such, like when we started here just like 5 minutes ago, all this was a big box with a fireplace in it, and it just looked ridiculous. And now, just because of like our imagination of, oh well, maybe it's like a small train station. Well, what do you need in a small train station? Well, you need a ticket counter where people are going to go to like buy their tickets, or it's like the customer service counter or whatever. And what you need as well is places for people to sit, so that they are not freezing to death when it's so cold out here in the wilderness. And well, you know, you can't have it like be all dark, so we're going to put in some lights here. And that's just the way you start thinking. That's just the way you start thinking when you start playing creative mode, and that's what I absolutely love about it, you know. And what I loved as well about about Sweet Victory server as well back in the day, which there are videos of that somewhere, some of them on Sweet Victory's channel and things like that, where the stuff that we built, like Katie and Kyle and Alan and I, where the stuff that we built is shown off. And yeah, go check them out, I suppose, as well. But I think like I'm going to work more on this off screen, because if I start getting stuck working on it now, this video will never end. But I think this is such like a nice little train station that it deserves to be a little bit more designery, like a little bit better designed. So I think for the time being, we're going to head back to the Snowforest Chalet and get some shut-eye. Where this goes, you might ask? Well, I guess we'll find that out in another video maybe, because I don't know, like I've never done Minecraft videos on this video before, but I think it might be nice, like, you know, like just like creative stuff, just random creative stuff of me building and talking and stuff. I think as well, like Animal Crossing, I'm nearly finished everything I want to do in that, so I'll probably be putting that to bed soon. I think this might be a nice replacement for just wanting to do relaxing update videos to let people know what's going on. But for the time being, it's goodbye from me, RockPaperMario, for this Winter's Elementary video. If you want to get involved, just create something, upload something, let us know somehow. Find a link in the description to the Gumroad page where you can download thumbnails and intros and whatever if you want to use them. Otherwise, I'll see you next time on Winter's Elementary. Bye now.